The colony on the edge of the Andromeda sector was quiet, the human settlement shining softly under the twin moons. Scientists moved slowly between the glass-domed laboratories, and small drones hovered, checking the air quality. Among them was Dr. Ethan Harper, a senior human researcher, who spent most of his days studying alien biology. He had always been careful to follow the rules, never getting too close to the aliens who lived on the outskirts of the colony. But today, something unusual stirred his curiosity. As a small figure appeared near the edge of the research dome, it was a young alien, barely 15 by human standards, with luminescent green skin and large golden eyes. Her long silver hair floated slightly, as if the air around her responded to her presence. She hesitated at the threshold, glancing at the scientist and then around nervously. Ethan noticed her unusual posture, the way she seemed ready to flee at any second. He stepped closer, trying to calm his own nerves, and said, "Hello there, are you lost?" The girl blinked, then her lips trembled, and finally, in a voice barely above a whisper, she said, I'm practically an adult human." Ethan froze, his mind racing to understand her words. Practically an adult? She looked so small, so fragile, so much like a child, yet her eyes held something he could not ignore. There was a strange mix of defiance and fear in her expression, as if she had spoken a secret she had carried for a long time. Around them, the colony seemed to fade. As Ethan focused entirely on this tiny, trembling alien, he wondered why she would come alone and speak such bold words without explanation. "Practically an adult?" he asked carefully, trying to hide his surprise. The girl nodded slightly, but her gaze darted toward the sky as if she expected someone to appear at any moment. Ethan noticed small, faint scratches on her arms, and a faint glow from her skin that pulsed with her heartbeat. Something told him this was no ordinary visit. No casual alien teenager wandering into a human colony. There was urgency here, a secret she could not share easily. The girl took a small step forward, her voice shaking, yet determined. "I came because I need your help, human. I know you are one of the few who can understand." Ethan's heart raced, not with fear, but with the thrill of discovery, mixed with a strange sense of responsibility. He motioned her to sit on a nearby bench, his mind already calculating risks and possibilities around them. Subtle movements in the shadows suggested that not everyone in the colony would be happy to see her here. As she explained, Ethan learned that she was part of a group of young aliens trained to observe humans in secret. They learned human ways, their languages, their technology, and sometimes even their emotions. Her mission had been to study humans quietly. But something had gone wrong, something dangerous. She had seen signs of a rogue alien faction moving through nearby sectors, a group that could threaten both humans and friendly aliens. Her words were careful, measured, but the fear in her eyes betrayed the danger. Ethan realized that the colony could be in serious trouble if this rogue faction arrived, and that she had come to warn him suddenly. The faint hum of surveillance drones filled the air. Their light scanning, Ethan felt a shiver run down his spine, knowing that her presence might soon be discovered. The girl's eyes widened and she whispered, "They cannot know I am here, or it could mean death for me." Ethan nodded slowly, deciding quickly that he would keep her secret. At least for now, every second counted, and he knew that trusting her might be risky. But the alternative, ignoring her warning, was far worse. As they moved deeper into the shaded area of the dome, Ethan noticed small devices attached to her clothing. They glowed faintly, reacting to the nearby sensors, a technology he had never seen before. She explained in broken human words that these were communication and protection devices. They allowed her to stay hidden and relay information if needed. Ethan examined them, careful not to touch the wrong part, as a small spark from one device made him jump. The tension between curiosity and danger made the air feel heavy, like a storm was about to break. The girl looked at him, eyes pleading. "I do not have much time, human. The others could be here soon." Ethan took a deep breath, feeling a strange mix of fear, excitement, and determination. He knew that whatever came next, his life and the colony's future was about to change. The small alien teen had appeared out of nowhere, her bold confession opening a door to mysteries he had only dreamed of. And as they disappeared into the shadows of the dome, Ethan realized this was only the beginning of an adventure that could decide the fate of both humans and aliens. The twin moons shone brightly overhead, as if watching the unlikely pair, and somewhere in the distance, the first hints of danger stirred, unseen, waiting to test their courage. The small alien teen led Dr. Ethan Harper through narrow passageways behind the main research dome. The walls glowed faintly with alien symbols that pulsed softly as they moved. Ethan felt a strange mix of awe and fear, knowing that no human had ever entered this part of the colony. The teen moved quickly, yet carefully, her eyes scanning every corner. "Be careful," she whispered. "This area is not meant for humans," Ethan nodded. Keeping close, his heart racing with curiosity and caution, they reached a large metallic door that seemed to hum with energy. The alien teen pressed a small device to the panel, and the door opened with a quiet hiss. Inside, the hidden colony revealed itself, a maze of glowing corridors and advanced alien technology. Floating holographic screens showed star maps, alien life forms, and strange symbols Ethan could barely understand. Small drones hovered silently, observing the humans but making no sound. Ethan realized that this was a training center for young aliens, a place where they learned to watch, study, and protect. His mind raced with the possibilities. Knowledge here could change everything about human-alien relations. The teen led him to a central chamber filled with strange devices and glowing panels. "This is where we prepare," she explained. "We learn about humans, our worlds, and sometimes danger." She moved her hands over a glowing orb, and a holographic projection appeared, showing a map of nearby sectors. Ethan noticed red blips moving toward the colony, warning signals of an approaching threat. The teen's face grew serious, her previous shyness replaced by determination. "They are coming," she said softly. "A rogue alien faction is moving this way. They want to capture us and control the humans." Ethan felt a chill, realizing the danger was closer than he thought. As they walked through the corridors, Ethan noticed training rooms with holographic simulations. Young aliens practiced stealth, combat, and problem-solving. Their eyes focused and serious. He saw how they learned to mimic human emotions, study their behavior, and adapt quickly. The teen explained that these skills were vital for protecting both their world and humans. "They are trained to hide, to watch, and sometimes to act," she said. "But most humans never know we are here," Ethan nodded, understanding that the stakes were much higher than he had imagined. He felt respect and a strange kinship with these young aliens, who carried responsibilities far beyond their age. They approached a quiet room filled with glowing containers, each holding a small living alien specimen. The teen paused, her eyes softening as she looked at the creatures. "These are our youngest," she said. "They learn here until they are ready to leave. But danger is always near." Ethan understood that life in this hidden colony was both a privilege and a burden. Every alien here had a purpose, a role in the safety of their world and humans. He felt a sense of urgency, realizing that the knowledge they held could save or destroy the colony. The rogue faction's arrival could change everything if they were unprepared. Suddenly, a faint vibration ran through the corridors, and lights flickered. The teen froze, listening carefully. "Someone is close," she whispered. Ethan felt his heart pound as they ducked into a narrow side passage, the walls glowing faintly to guide their path. They moved silently, avoiding detection, every step filled with suspense and fear. The teen pressed a small panel, activating a temporary cloaking field around them. Ethan marveled at the technology, knowing it would keep them invisible for only a few minutes. The air felt heavy, filled with tension as if the colony itself was holding its breath. After what felt like an eternity, they reached a small observation room. Overlooking the entire hidden colony, Ethan saw aliens moving purposefully, practicing, learning, and preparing, unaware of the danger approaching. The teen turned to him, her golden eyes serious. "You must understand, human. Everything here is fragile. They trust me, and now, I trust you," she said softly. "If we fail, many lives could be lost." Ethan nodded, feeling the weight of her words. Understanding that their partnership was now essential, the bond between them grew stronger in that moment. Born of trust, urgency, and shared responsibility, outside distant shadows moved, hinting that the rogue faction was nearing. Unseen but relentless, the teen showed him a device that could send warnings to the outer colonies. "It is limited," she explained. "Only a few can use it without being detected." Ethan studied it carefully, realizing that even a small mistake could reveal the hidden colony to the wrong eyes. They spent hours preparing, planning, and understanding each other's strengths. Suspense built as the rogue faction grew closer, every moment critical, every choice important. Ethan knew that this day was only the beginning, and the secrets of the hidden colony would guide them in the trials to come. The night grew deeper and the twin moons shone softly, casting a silver glow over the alien technology. In the shadows, danger waited, but so did courage, hope, and the first steps of an alliance that could change the fate of worlds. The hidden colony was quiet for a moment, the soft hum of alien devices filling the air. Dr. Ethan Harper and the young alien teen had spent hours studying maps, training simulations, and the approaching threat. Ethan could feel the tension building, every sound amplified in the otherwise silent corridors. He glanced at her, noticing how her small hands trembled slightly. Despite her brave face, something had changed in her expression. A shadow crossing her golden eyes. She was no longer just a visitor. She carried responsibility and fear far beyond her years. Suddenly, a faint signal blinked across the holographic map, red lines tracing a path from her home planet. Her eyes widened as she realized what it meant. "They are calling me," she whispered, her voice barely audible. "I must leave, or they will think I have failed." Ethan's heart skipped a beat. "Leave? What do you mean? Where?" he asked urgently. The teen shook her head. "I cannot explain everything, human. It is dangerous for you to know." Ethan felt frustration and fear clash inside him, but he also understood that she had no choice. Time was running out, and every second could mean disaster for her and the colony. The teen moved to a small platform at the center of the chamber, a device glowing beneath her feet. "This is a portal," she explained quickly. "It will take me home, but it can only stay open a few moments." Ethan looked at her, panic rising. "You cannot leave now. We need you here." Her eyes softened and she placed a small hand on his arm. "I trust you, human. You must protect them while I am gone." Ethan felt the weight of her words, realizing that the colony, the young aliens, and even himself depended on her choices. The portal shimmered, casting a strange light over the chamber, twisting shadows around them. She looked at him one last time, golden eyes filled with determination and sorrow. "I will return," she said softly, "but it may take years, and I may not be the same." Ethan swallowed hard, trying to keep his voice steady. "Promise me you will come back safely." She nodded, activating the portal fully, the air around them crackling with energy. Before Ethan could reach out to stop her, she was engulfed in bright light. The portal blinked and vanished, leaving only a faint trace of shimmering particles. Ethan stood frozen, the room suddenly feeling emptier than it had ever been. He looked around, realizing that the hidden colony seemed quieter too. As if holding its breath, the holographic screens continued to glow softly, but the energy that had been her presence was gone. For a long moment he could hear only his own breathing, slow and steady, trying to calm his racing heart. He thought of the warning she had given him, the rogue faction, and the fragile young aliens who trusted them both. A shiver ran down his spine, understanding that the coming days would test everything he knew. Hours passed and Ethan moved through the hidden corridors alone, checking every corner. The young aliens in training continued their routines, unaware that their protector had disappeared. Ethan felt a strange mix of relief and dread, knowing that her absence could weaken their defense. Every device, every map, every plan suddenly seemed incomplete without her. He knew the rogue faction would not wait, and that they could strike at any moment. The responsibility now rested entirely on his shoulders, and he felt the pressure like a heavy weight. Yet in the midst of fear, a small spark of hope remained. The promise that she would return one day outside. The twin moons cast silver light on the colony, reflecting off the glass domes. The soft wind carried whispers of distant stars and unseen dangers. Ethan stared at the sky, imagining her traveling through the vastness of space. Years of preparation, of secret missions and silent training lay ahead for both of them. He could almost feel her presence guiding him, urging him to protect the colony and its fragile balance. Every human and alien life in the hidden sector depended on vigilance and courage, and Ethan knew that the choices he made now would echo across years, shaping the future for both worlds. Late that night, the hidden colony seemed still, yet every corridor, every device held a quiet tension. The absence of the young alien teen was palpable, a reminder of how fragile peace could be. Ethan walked through the observation chambers, studying the maps and holograms she had left behind. The rogue faction's movements were unpredictable, but he now had partial knowledge thanks to her brief guidance. Every strategy, every precaution became a race against time, a test of his skill and courage. He felt the first true weight of leadership, knowing that failure could cost countless lives. Yet in his heart he carried her words, a promise that would keep him moving forward. No matter how dark the path ahead as dawn approached, the first signs of life stirred in the colony, humans and aliens beginning their routines. Ethan stood in the central chamber, staring at the faint glow where the portal had vanished, and he whispered to himself, a mix of hope and determination, I will protect them. Until you return. Outside, the twin moons faded, and the sun rose over the distant mountains, casting light on a world that would never be the same. The journey had begun, and both human and alien hearts waited for the day they would reunite. Years passed in the human colony at the edge of the Andromeda sector. Dr. Ethan Harper continued his work tirelessly, often working late into the night while the twin moons shone overhead. The hidden knowledge the young alien teen had shared with him lingered in his mind. Shaping his every decision, he studied alien technology, mapped the rogue faction's possible routes, and trained the colony's young humans in emergency defense. Every day felt like a test. Every choice carried weight far greater than he had imagined. The absence of the teen was felt deeply, her bold presence leaving a quiet emptiness, yet her guidance remained. The colony evolved slowly over the years, humans and friendly aliens forming cautious alliances. New young aliens arrived from hidden outposts, trained in secret like the teen before them. Ethan observed them carefully, recognizing the same determination and courage he had once seen in her eyes. The rogue faction's movements were sporadic but dangerous. Testing the colony's defenses with every encounter, simulated drills became daily routines. And Ethan grew skilled in combining human ingenuity with alien technology. Despite all his preparation, he never forgot her warning, the urgency in her voice, the golden eyes filled with trust. Every sunrise reminded him that her return could come at any time, and he had to be ready. The human colonists began noticing changes in the colony, mysterious improvements in technology and efficiency. They did not know that a small group of humans, led by Ethan, was secretly preparing for threats they could not yet see. Ethan taught them how to use alien devices, how to read signals, and how to stay hidden if danger arrived. Every lesson was measured carefully, keeping the balance between safety and secrecy. He found himself thinking often about the young alien teen, imagining how she had grown during these years. Would she be braver, stronger, or more cautious than before? The unknown made him anxious, yet also fueled his determination to prepare for her return. During these years, Ethan discovered more about the alien technology she had left behind. Communication devices that could send encrypted signals across light years, defensive shields capable of withstanding heavy attacks, and advanced sensors that could detect hostile ships long before they approached. He learned slowly, carefully, knowing mistakes could be disastrous. Each success reminded him of the teen's brilliance and the trust she had placed in him. The colony became stronger, more prepared, and yet the tension in the air never faded. Ethan often walked alone at night, staring at the stars, imagining her journey through space. He thought about how much she must have learned, how many challenges she had faced. He hoped she remembered him, hoped she knew he had not failed to protect the colony. Every shooting star or passing comet made him wonder if it was a sign of her return. The humans he trained began to trust him implicitly, seeing him as a protector, a guide, and a mentor. Yet Ethan knew that no training could replace the wisdom and courage of the alien teen. The years had prepared him, but the real test would come when she returned. Rumors began to spread quietly through the colony of a mysterious figure returning from distant space. Ethan heard whispers from both humans and aliens, stories of a golden-eyed teen who had changed. He felt a surge of hope and anxiety, knowing that the moment of reunion might come sooner than he expected. The colony's defenses were ready, simulations completed, alliances formed. Yet he understood the rogue faction was unpredictable. The coming confrontation would require more than preparation. It would require trust, courage, and quick thinking. Ethan's heart ached with longing for the teen's return. Yet he steeled himself, knowing he must continue his work. Every day was filled with drills, studies, and silent planning, each step bringing him closer to the moment when the golden-eyed alien would appear again. As the twin moons rose high one night, Ethan stood at the edge of the observation deck. Looking out at the stars, he imagined the portal opening. The teen stepping through, grown and ready. He felt a mix of anticipation, fear, and hope, understanding that everything they had prepared would soon be tested. The rogue faction's approach could happen at any moment, and the fate of both humans and aliens hung in the balance. Ethan whispered softly to the wind, "I am ready. I will protect them until you return." And in the silence of the hidden colony, the first signs of change began to stir, unseen. The universe waited patiently, as humans and aliens prepared for a reunion that would change their lives forever. The colony was alive with quiet tension, humans and young aliens moving carefully through the glass-domed corridors. Dr. Ethan Harper stood at the observation deck, staring at the horizon, eyes fixed on the distant stars. Years of preparation had brought them to this moment. Every simulation, every drill, every lesson leading to what was about to happen. A strange glow began to appear far beyond the mountains, flickering like a pulse against the darkness. Ethan felt his heart pound, a mixture of anticipation, hope, and fear rushing through him. Could it really be her? The young alien teen who had disappeared years ago, the one who had entrusted him with the colony's secrets. The glow grew brighter, forming a shimmering portal near the outskirts of the settlement. A hush fell over the colony as both humans and aliens paused in their routines. Sensing that something extraordinary was occurring, Ethan's eyes widened as a figure emerged from the light, stepping through with confidence and poise. It was her, taller now, more mature, her silver hair flowing and golden eyes scanning the colony. She moved with purpose. Every step revealing the experience and training of years spent traveling between worlds. Ethan felt a rush of relief and awe, realizing that the teen had not only survived, but had grown stronger than he had imagined. The young alien's gaze fell on Ethan, and for a brief moment, time seemed to stop. He saw the same trust, the same bond that had begun years ago. Now reinforced by courage and experience, she carried a small device in her hands, glowing faintly with data from her travels and the rogue faction's movements. "This is the information you need," she said, her voice calm but firm. "We cannot waste a single moment." Ethan nodded, moving quickly to take the device, realizing that every second now mattered more than ever. Around them, the colony stirred with excitement, whispers of her return spreading quietly. Yet urgently, suddenly, alarms blared, echoing through the glass domes. The rogue faction had arrived sooner than expected, their ships casting long shadows across the colony. Ethan felt a surge of adrenaline, understanding that her arrival was perfectly timed to help them prepare for the battle ahead. The teen moved quickly, guiding the young aliens into defensive positions, her movements sharp and decisive. She explained strategies in clear, concise words. Combining human tactics with alien knowledge, Ethan followed her lead, organizing the humans to work alongside the aliens, forming a unified front. The colony's atmosphere shifted from anxious anticipation to controlled readiness. Each person focused on the task at hand. As the rogue faction ships grew closer, the teen activated shields around key areas. Energy barriers shimmered across the domes. Deflecting scans and attacks, Ethan observed in amazement, realizing how much she had learned, how far she had come from the shy, nervous teen who had first appeared years ago. She moved among the defenders, adjusting positions, giving instructions, and ensuring that everyone was prepared. Her confidence inspired those around her, both humans and aliens, to act with courage and precision. Even the youngest aliens looked up to her, following her lead without hesitation. Every movement, every decision seemed to strengthen the colony's defenses, turning fear into action. Ethan remembered the countless hours of preparation they had spent, the simulations they had practiced. Now with the teen's return, all of it became real, the strategies unfolding exactly as they had planned. Yet with unpredictable challenges, the rogue faction's ships approached stealthily, but her keen eyes detected every maneuver. She directed attacks with precision. Combining human weaponry and alien energy devices, the battle had begun, and the colony fought with unity and determination. Guided by the teen's knowledge and bravery, Ethan felt the weight of responsibility lessen slightly, knowing that she had returned to take her rightful place as a protector. Together, human and alien forces moved as one, ready to face the threat that had loomed for years. Amid the chaos, the teen paused briefly to look at Ethan. Her eyes meeting his, there was no need for words. The bond they shared spoke louder than anything else. She had returned, stronger and wiser, and together they would protect the colony. The rogue faction may have underestimated them, but they had not counted on the courage, preparation, and trust of humans and aliens united. As the twin moons rose high, casting silver light on the battlefield, the teen led the defenders forward. The colony held its breath, waiting, watching, and fighting, knowing that this reunion was only the beginning of a new chapter. And somewhere deep within the heart of the young alien teen, the years of struggle, training, and travel had prepared her for this very moment. The rogue faction's ships hovered above the colony like dark predators, their engines humming ominously. Dr. Ethan Harper and the young alien teen moved quickly through the command center. Issuing orders to humans and aliens alike, every second counted. Every decision could change the outcome of the battle. The teen's golden eyes scanned the holographic maps, calculating angles, trajectories, and weak points in the enemy formation. Ethan felt a mixture of fear and awe, watching her move with confidence. Commanding both humans and aliens, her calm yet commanding presence inspired everyone, turning panic into determination. The first wave of rogue ships launched a sudden attack, firing energy blasts at the outer domes. Shields activated immediately, shimmering across the colony, absorbing the initial impact. Young aliens darted between control panels, activating defensive drones and countermeasures. Ethan coordinated human teams, moving them to strategic positions and ensuring communication lines stayed clear. The teen's voice rang out clearly, guiding everyone, her knowledge of the rogue faction's tactics proving invaluable. Focus on their left flank. Use the energy grids to deflect their scanners, she commanded. The humans followed, trusting her instincts even though they had only just seen her return. The rogue faction adapted quickly, sending a second wave of ships with cloaking technology. Ethan held his breath as shadows moved silently across the sky, invisible yet deadly. The teen activated sensors she had brought from her home world, detecting the hidden ships before they could strike. She directed a precise counterattack, coordinating drones and humans to surround the cloaked enemies. Energy beams flashed through the sky, colliding with alien ships, sending sparks of light across the horizon. Ethan felt his adrenaline surge, realizing that the colony's survival depended on every move being perfect. The young aliens, trained for years in secrecy, moved with precision, their trust in the teen absolute as the battle raged. A rogue faction ship broke through the defenses, targeting the main communication hub. Ethan rushed to redirect the humans while the teen moved quickly to intercept. She activated a personal shield, moving into the path of the ship's attack. Energy blasts bounced harmlessly off her shield as she guided the defenders to counter the threat. Her courage and quick thinking gave the colony time to recover and launch a coordinated strike. Humans and aliens worked together, combining weaponry and technology in ways they had never done before. Every moment of trust and strategy counted, shaping the battle in their favor. Despite the intensity, the teen never lost focus, constantly scanning, calculating, and directing. Ethan marveled at how much she had grown during her years away. Transforming from a shy alien teen into a fearless leader, she moved among the defenders, encouraging them, correcting mistakes, and boosting morale. Even the youngest humans and aliens felt inspired, knowing that she had returned to fight alongside them. The rogue faction's attacks became more desperate, their tactics increasingly aggressive. Yet every move they made was anticipated by the teen's strategy. Combined with Ethan's human intuition, the colony's defense held strong, turning potential chaos into organized resistance. At one point, the rogue faction attempted a flanking maneuver, trying to strike at the colony's power core. Ethan noticed the movement on the holographic display, but it was the teen who acted first. She directed energy grids to create a barrier, redirecting the attackers into a trap. Drones swooped down from hidden positions, striking the rogue ships and forcing them back. The humans followed her lead, using every advantage she had taught them. The synergy between humans and aliens was flawless. Built on trust, training, and shared purpose, for the first time, Ethan felt confident that the colony could withstand even the rogue faction's most cunning attacks. The battle continued into the night, stars overhead reflecting off energy shields and weapon fire. Every strike, every decision, every moment of trust mattered. Ethan and the teen worked side by side, their partnership unbreakable. Together they anticipated, adapted, and overcame, turning fear into strategy and chaos into control. As the first signs of the rogue faction's retreat appeared, a sense of cautious triumph filled the colony. The teen looked at Ethan, her eyes shining with relief and pride. They had survived together, stronger than ever. Yet they both knew that the fight was not over. The battle had tested their courage, their trust, and their strategy, and they had proven themselves worthy defenders of both worlds. The rogue faction ships had retreated, disappearing into the dark void of space. The colony breathed a collective sigh of relief, humans and aliens alike celebrating quietly yet with joy. Dr. Ethan Harper stood at the observation deck, watching the last trails of energy fade into the horizon. Beside him, the young alien teen smiled softly, golden eyes reflecting both pride and exhaustion. Years of training, preparation, and waiting had led to this moment. The colony had survived stronger than ever, and the bond between humans and aliens had been tested and proven true. The young aliens moved among the humans, checking systems, repairing drones, and offering reassurance. Ethan observed their teamwork with satisfaction, knowing that the teens' leadership had inspired courage in every heart. The colony's defenses were intact, the energy grid stabilized, and the communication networks fully operational. For the first time in years, peace settled over the hidden colony. Tentative yet hopeful, the teen turned to Ethan, placing a small hand on his arm. "We did it," she whispered. "Together." He nodded, feeling the weight of responsibility lift slightly, replaced by gratitude and trust. In the following days, the colony slowly returned to normal routines, though vigilance remained high. Young humans and aliens continued training under the guidance of Ethan and the teen. Lessons in strategy, cooperation, and courage became part of daily life. Ethan reflected on the years of preparation, realizing that every simulation, every drill, every long night of planning had mattered. The teen had returned not only as a protector but as a mentor, guiding others with the experience she had gained. Her presence strengthened the colony, giving hope to those who had once feared the unknown. Every human and alien in the colony learned to rely on each other, forming bonds that would endure beyond any threat. Outside the domes, the twin moons cast silver light across the settlement. Ethan walked alongside the teen, discussing future plans for defense, exploration, and understanding. They spoke quietly, sharing ideas and hopes, aware that the rogue faction could return. But the colony was ready now, united in purpose and strengthened by trust. The teen smiled, remembering her first hesitant steps into the human world. She had grown, learned, and returned, shaping a new era for both humans and aliens. Ethan felt a sense of pride, knowing that she had fulfilled her mission and inspired others to do the same. The days passed, and humans and aliens celebrated victories both large and small. Children laughed as young aliens taught them games that combined their cultures and traditions. Ethan watched, heart full, knowing that the future was brighter because of courage, trust, and cooperation. The teen took a quiet moment to reflect on her journey, remembering her first confession, the fear, and the determination that had driven her. She realized that growth came not only from survival but from trust, responsibility, and shared struggle. Her bond with Ethan had grown into friendship and respect, a partnership that would guide the colony through many challenges ahead. Every lesson learned in the hidden colony would now be shared, preparing the next generation for the uncertainties of the universe. One evening, as the twin moons rose high and stars shimmered overhead, Ethan and the teen stood at the observation deck. They looked at the horizon, knowing that adventure and danger were never far, yet the colony was stronger than ever. The young alien spoke softly. "This is only the beginning, human, but now we are ready." Ethan nodded, understanding that together they could face any threat, explore unknown worlds, and protect those who could not protect themselves. The rogue faction may have challenged them, but it had also united them, proving that courage, trust, and strategy could overcome any obstacle. The colony had entered a new era, where humans and aliens worked side by side, learning, growing, and defending each other. And in that moment, as light bathed the settlement, a sense of hope and possibility filled every heart. The twin moons cast silver reflections across the domes, a quiet reminder of the battles fought, the friendships formed, and the futures yet to be written. Ethan and the teen stood together, guardians of the colony, partners in adventure, and symbols of trust between worlds. The young aliens trained and learned. Humans observed and assisted, and the hidden colony thrived. Together they faced the universe, stronger, wiser, and ready for whatever challenges awaited. And somewhere in the vastness of space, the rogue faction watched, knowing that this colony, united by courage and trust, could never be defeated easily. A new era had begun, filled with hope, adventure, and the promise of countless stories yet to unfold. The colony had survived, grown, and thrived, and the future was theirs to shape together.